live. Alright, this should hold.
Okay. All right. So the camera looks good. Okay. Cool.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Good, man. Performing?
Yeah.
You want to be recorded?
Oh, wait, but you gotta do the show. You gotta.
How does it look?
It's good.
What we doing? Like
Yes, I can see.
Yeah, but you got to.
It's like we got.
It's part of the ethos.
Sabrina, can I introduce you?
Yeah, we gotta.
Oh, absolutely. No, you got to. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
ready.
You gotta do the whole
Okay.
thing.
Alright, hang on, let's switch your voice now.
Okay.
We're doing a show now. Let's turn it into a thing.
I bet. I might got a couple
You
minutes
want
and I
to
dip
go?
off, then I come back.
If you gotta go, do you? Then we'll
Go a little longer too, but I'm still do this little poem.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's
man.
so cool. Thank you. Did you like it? You need to like
Check,
it?
check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I was just saying.
Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. That should be good. Yes, yes. Are we live streaming your intro as well?
Yes, you're here. We're all here.
Gotta do the
4
walk.
people watching already, so.
We're already live.
Yes,
Oh my
live.
gosh,
4 people
well,
are
hello.
watching your awesomeness with that beard going on. So please introduce yourself.
This beer was an accident too. I just got lazy for 2 weeks.
Oh, I thought you were just getting an early start on No Shave November.
No, this was purely by accident. I'm just too lazy to shave it. But yeah, good evening, everyone. This is the Versus Open Mic.
Yeah.
We are here every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Our doors open at 8:30, and you are welcome to share with us 1 to 2 poems of a reasonable length. Starting us off, she has been not present in body, but we have all kept her in our thoughts, and we are so glad to be graced by her once more. Give a nice, warm welcome to Sabrina.
So, good night, everyone. I'm Sabrina Faith, and it's always great to be here and to see you all. Oh, audio before quality. We just had this conversation. Thank you so much. So I'm not going to share 2 poems. I just want to share the same poem twice, if that makes sense, because it sounds good through the first read through, but people really don't know what you're saying or where it's coming from. So I would like to break it down and then read it once more, so then you can really see what I'm saying. So I recently broke up with someone, and I suggested that we write a poem together called 20 Toes Down for this shit, and we were gonna do it together. So he wrote this part, and I'm not gonna say his part because that's his intellectual property, and I didn't ask for permission to recite it. So it was just 3 lines, and we were supposed to play like poetry tennis and go back and forth with each other. So I was like, I don't know where this next part is gonna come from. And he was like, don't worry, it's gonna come to you when it comes to you. So with what happened, the falling out between us, it sparked it, especially since he wouldn't talk to me. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I finally wrote my verse. What I'm hoping is the first verse. I'm hoping eventually he'll add to it. When if we get through this or not, I don't know. But we come through shoulders squared in loyalty to honor our pact. 20 toes down is a chosen lifestyle, not a theatrical act. Know to think steady as pain smacks when you're quick to react. Communication is paramount to preserve the bonds of the model, to keep the foundation intact. In this performance of real love, together we're meant to rule the stage, to engage vigorously in freedom like Maya's bird from the cage, to shake off the mental toll that builds in earning a living wage, thanking God for another day, even with poor choices made, because to fill the book, don't you need another page? We're down for this shit, remaining sharp on the balls of our feet, toes tight, with the side of leg wrap, security, cuddles at night. Pillow talking it up, our greatness, the building of friendship that fuels flight. No doubt we're in the air, coasting in the winds like a kite. Baby, fuck the pillow, it's your neck I'll bite. The passionate purpose of us at the moment, pushes my hand with this pen I write. Another thanks to heaven for the shining light of black gold I'll never lose sight. By way of wisdom we know it's best to keep the faith in peace or fight, which is why Joker was never meant to win in the end against the Dark Knight. I'ma ask a question that's completely rhetorical, for this rhyme is a vision statement to the motto that's truly historical. And I mean that in real life, not just being cute to use the word metaphorical, taking this need to God for ordered steps to his will, my almighty oracle. When adversity comes from within, not without, giving pause about our union to doubt. Will you flee, or can you bear with me? So, that was that. Okay, that's fine, right? Okay. So I just want to break it down and then I'll read it one more time. So real quick, when I say we come through shoulder squared in loyalty to honor our pact, and then 20 toes down is a chosen lifestyle, not a theatrical act. So I was just saying that, you know, when you make a bond, like of course it's not an act, like you're really meaning it. It's not, you're not bullshitting in the moment, for real. You shouldn't be. When I say no to things steady as pain smacks when you're quick to react, my quick reaction like smacked us both with pain. Like really, like, I think I heard a quote of the person saying they felt like smacked in the face, like, by my quick reaction. Communication is paramount to preserve the bonds of the model, to keep the foundation intact. Absolutely, you gotta have a foundation of communication. Don't avoid it. Don't run from it. Performance of real love and through the stage. Singing fiercely in freedom like Maya's bird from the cage. While I was writing, I just thought of Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. I don't know, it just came to me. To shake off the mental toll that builds in earning a living wage. Now, this line, my work came up in how I earn money. So, earning a living wage, and it takes a toll on me. So, and everybody. Okay, thanking God for another day, even with poor choices made, because in order to fill the book, don't you need another page? Thank God every day for another day, because without it, we're not able to continue to narrate our stories. Hey, we're down for it. Leg wrap secured at Cuddles at night. I really enjoyed cuddling with him, I'm not gonna lie. Pillow talking it up, our greatness, the building of friendship that fuels flight. I mean, because that's how you make connections and relationships grow through that friendship, so. Then, no doubt, we're coasting in the airs on the wind like a kite, and then babe, fuck the pillow, your neck I'll bite. I really enjoyed doing that, so I had to write that in there. Passionate purpose. I felt the need to write because of the purpose of what happened. I don't know. Thank heaven for the shining light of black gold, because I called him black gold. He was like black gold, and he radiated positivity to me. And you gotta keep the faith in peace or in a fight. And then I just put Joker and Dark Knight in there because he played the Batman game. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. And when I say historical, I just mean that I thought that this could be a blueprint for like future reference for me about how I shouldn't go about certain things and communicate and what it means to really be down for somebody. Not just saying it, but being there. One more time and I'm done, I promise. We come through shoulder squared in loyalty to honor our pact. 20 toes down is a chosen lifestyle, not a theatrical act. Know to think steady as pain smacks when you're quick to react. Communication is paramount to preserve the bonds of the model, to keep the foundation intact. In this performance of real love, together we're meant to rule a stage, to engage, singing fiercely in freedom like Maya's bird from the cage, to shake off the mental toll that builds in earning a living wage. Thanking God for another day, even with poor choices made, because to fill the book, don't you need another page? We're down for this shit, remaining sharp on the balls of our feet, toes tight, with a side of leg wrap secured in Cuddles at night. Pillow talking it up, our greatness, the building of friendship that fuels flight. No doubt we're in the air, coasting on the winds like a kite. Hey, fuck the pillow, it's your neck, I'll bite. The passionate purpose of us at this moment pushes my hand with the pen I write. Another thanks to heaven for the shining of black gold I will never lose sight. By way of wisdom, we know it's best to keep the faith in peace or in fight, which is why Joker was never to win in the end against the Dark Knight. I'm gonna ask this question that's completely rhetorical. For this is a rhyme of a vision statement to the motto that's truly historical. Taking this need to God for ordered steps to his will, my almighty oracle. And I mean that in real life, not just being cute to use the word metaphorical. When adversity comes from within, not without, giving pause about our union to doubt, will you flee or can you bear with me? Thank you. Thank you. That's really what I'm coming to.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Sabrina.
Hey,
You see any left?
I know he is doing laundry,
Oh, okay. All
so he
right.
said he's stuff
He's
back.
gonna be back.
Okay, good, good.
I mean, do you have a poem you want to read?
Sure.
All right. Got it.
You gotta introduce it.
Ah. Well, coming next to this, I wasn't sure where it feels like your backpack or not, so I was waiting. I'm sorry.
What was that?
I wasn't sure it was in your backpack or not. I didn't know it was on your phone, so that's why I was waiting.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, next up to the stage. He's been helping us out with tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of reels on the Instagram page. If you see that, that is largely thanks to him. So thank you to our next poet. Works not stop. Give it up for Matthias.
Yeah. I didn't know you were gonna call me up. This is
That's my man.
Wait, you're here? I didn't know you. This is crazy. That is nuts, man. Did you spend some time in Morocco?
I don't like to talk about it.
Oh, okay. I know you like to keep that stuff kind of nailed down. Hi, everybody. My name is Matthias. I don't know if that means anything to you. But hey, this Saturday, I'm going to be part of, there's a couple of us that are going to be here at Third Wave Cafe doing a lecture series called Quatrain, and it's presented by Diverses. And I'm going to be talking about how Mufasa kind of had it coming. So that's neither here nor there, but it is true. But this poem is called the Abel poem, or Abel performs open mic comedy in heaven, but he's the only guy there because he's the first guy there. You think about it, it was kind of messed up because he's just like hanging around these angels all day. He's like, nobody else has died yet. I mean, yeah, so that's like the first part of the title, and the second part of the title is, what the hell, Cain? I mean, literally, what is hell? Why do people tell the story of Cain and Abel anyway? One guy is a murderer and he gets the first billing. Alphabetically, it's out of order, and perhaps that's not the point. The faithful son, a blood-stained stone, the intersecting wrath, good faith, and a steady hand. Not unlike a circumcision. What even is a circumcision? Here's a tip.
That's disgusting.
Don't turn your back on Cain. God asks us for a cook-off, and he cooks broccoli? Honestly, he should have got axed off of that alone. But what is death exactly? None of us really knew. What's more, God didn't explain. And I never knew the garden. Just what Dad would mumble. It was about a bachelor garden, he'd say. He and Mom don't talk much, and when they do speak, it's all like, how you like them apples? He'd say. Anyways, Cain gets the first billing in a story about a time in history when I was the only recorded living person that wasn't in fact an asshole. Worst thing I ever did was burn livestock for a guy in the sky that my dad used to work for, but isn't that a kindness? It's not like it was well done. I mean, you just ruined the meat that way. Speaking of standards and sacrifice, how could God not choose what I laid bare? What I had lost, what I could not just grow back, what Cain would not give? What earth could not just restore, what I would dominion over, the best of my first, and perhaps that is not the point either. You know, if you're gonna tell a story about a murder, And I mean really tell it. It's not a matter of character building. It's a matter of survivors. Our God came in the unsustainable wilderness of our parents and the vagrant wisdom of our mother, the cattle, the body, the sacrifice, the cutting away, complete. Thank you. So that poem I wrote as if I was Abel. And I haven't written a poem as if I was Cain yet. But it's like, isn't it like kind of messed up? Like, do you think like Cain like knew what was going on when he did it? Like, he just probably was like, I'm gonna hit Abel, and then later on we're gonna like joke about it. And be like, oh man, that was really messed up. You remember when I burned all those vegetables and you got God's favor? I don't know. That's just, these are just things I think about. Anybody, do you guys know Korah in the Bible? Korah?
I was thinking about the Avatar song.
Yes.
That's good. Yes. I
Yes.
should do remember that. But so Korah in the Bible, so Korah is like one of the most compelling people in the Bible to me, because Korah is, so if you imagine, this was like right after the Israel, like they left Egypt. They just got out of slavery from Egypt, and when they get out of slavery from Egypt, they walk across the Red Sea, because the Red Sea splits the heck open, and they walk across it. And Moses is the guy with the staff that made the water go up, right? So everybody, you would think that if your manager like led your company to like the biggest profits in like the century, you'd be like, okay, this manager is the best manager, and that manager didn't even split an ocean in half. So like clearly you're like thinking like, okay, everybody really loves Moses and people are following Moses. And they were in slavery before then. So they were just like, hey man, this guy got us out of slavery and then split an ocean in half. So it's like, yeah, clearly you should be following Moses. And then this guy Korah just comes along and says, maybe you should follow me. And people do it. Korah didn't do anything. So I don't know. In my imagination, I would think that like Moses wasn't a great public speaker. Like that's documented. And since Moses wasn't a great public speaker, I would have to assume you have to be an amazing public speaker to like override like, well, this guy split an ocean in half, but I talk really good. So who are you gonna join?
The talker.
Thank you, exactly. So this is what I imagine in my head. This is what Korah had to have said to the people to get people to follow him. This poem's entitled Korah's Rebellion, or Who Elected This Moses Guy Anyway? Here's a scriptural precedent here. Numbers 16, Korah, son of Izhar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, and certain Reubenites, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and son of Peleth, became insolent and rose up against Moses. I don't want to be that guy, Israel, but what's with this Moses guy anyway? I mean, did I vote for him? No. This guy used to be a branch manager, beat the heck out of a guard, left the son of Pharaoh, and came back a few years later, our savior. Solid progressive principles, sure. A solid slogan, let my people go. I mean, these are things I can get behind. I mean, I'm people. I might have voted for him back then, but he deleted his tablets.
Boo.
Now, I had to make a choice, and if nothing else, Pharaoh was good for jobs. What's with this Moses guy anyway? I mean, the Nile doesn't have clean water, and I get it. Moses was trying to make a point, but I'm taking a bath in the other day, and there's B negative in the water basin. I got a 4C curl pattern. Suffice to say, they ruined. What's with this Moses guy anyway? I mean, is everything blood with this guy? This big decree goes out, and all of a sudden, I got to kill a goat and ruin my doorpost. And do you know how hard it is to get blood out of a doorpost? Neither do I, because we have to leave the next day. And I keep that place in great shape our entire lease, and then we got to vacate. We're about to hoof it across some nature walk, and this Moses guy doesn't even have a forwarding address. You know, what's with this Moses guy anyway? I mean, who decided we all wanted to leave Egypt? Was it a little rough? Sure, I'll give you that. But maybe give us a couple of days warning. One day, all the firstborns die, and the next day we're all moving. I mean, sorry, but a middle child just doesn't have the attention span needed to properly deconstruct a loaded bed frame. It's just a fact. You know, it's in such a rush too. I want to look good for the trek across the ocean bed. I mean, you never know who you're gonna meet. I go to my guy for a cut, and he's all like, I gotta hurry up. We're all crossing the Red Sea tomorrow, and I gotta throw some lamb's blood on my doorpost. This guy rushes the job. He gives me a taper when I ask for a curl. But enough about my circumcision. What's with this Moses guy anyway? You know, he wasn't always one of us, you know. I heard he got all of this from a bush one time. I heard he's here to get a taste of the culture, to see how the other half really lives. I mean, is it always blood with this guy? Thank you. SWAT train this Saturday. It is at 3:30 to 7:30. Come through, bring a friend. See you there.
Before he gets struck down by the Lord, give a nice round of applause to Matthias. Yes.
Praise God, or else.
I like how you choose or else.
That's on God.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
Cause I got depression.
Jesus is the one.
Hell yeah.
Oh, the Betty White one.
That's it. That was freaking me out still to this day.
You don't know that song?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely play it for
We'll
you.
play it for you.
It's gonna for you.
It's an old church hymn that
He said, rest in peace, Betty White. She ain't dead, but I feel it's coming.
And I know it's coming.
I mean, but she was like 99 at
But
the time,
still,
so it's like,
still.
okay.
But that line, we knew that line was going to hit different afterwards. But the
If we
song,
knew after she died, you have to hear it again.
you
like,
have to hear the song though in general, Jeff. It's a classic.
It's like one of those.
It's an old Negro spiritual.
It is.
Noted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Church, like, I'll trust you on that.
Trust us on
Yeah,
this.
my pop culture knowledge is very, very, quite important. Up next, this man has had life happen the last couple of weeks. And even tonight, he's had to do laundry.
That's life.
Not even joking. He's in the middle of his dry cycle right now. But before his tumble dry finishes, he's going to grace us with a poem. He's actually asked us, you want to be recorded for this, yes? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to be... Matthias, are you doing this?
I was just doing some short stuff where do you want me to do it?
I can do it. No, that's cool. Al, I'm going to have to give you a mic. Okay?
Okay.
Like a different mic. You'll have this mic, but then another mic.
Okay.
It's going to be great. Cool? All right. Give a nice round of applause to Al.
Yeah!
Ever wear one of these before?
Yes.
Yes.
I have.
No, I'm curious. Should be good.
Yeah, did you have to use it because for the other poem that you did that went viral? Did you say you did like another performance, like another poetry performance, right?
Yeah, I did it for a ministry. You said it was viral. That's different for words a day.
I mean, it's honest. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I would say yes.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, this piece is one of these. This is a second piece on Father's Day, and I'm gonna start by my artist name. My artist name is TP1. It means the patient one. My first name is Al Sabor, and Al Sabor stands for the patient one. That's how I got it. Real smooth, real easy. Things simple. This is short. A lot of them are short until I get back working on it. But I'm gonna get into it. The past of absent fathers gave a great reputation to the younger generation, especially the ones who was running the streets, and we feel as though I'm gonna be just like my dad. That my dad has did just enough for people to hate me and just get a little bit of love. That great judgment and hatred brought me to the point where nobody can tell me nothing. I know for a fact he did this and this is what I'm gonna do. For me, I'm a free spirit. and this is my life. You can't really tell me to do with my life. I will hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna live it out. I can go one ear and out the other, but I'm gonna definitely hear what you're saying for a moment. I give everybody a brief moment. See, once I was doing so bad, I got so good, I started getting eyes at everybody else who wanted to be like me, and it scared me to the point where am I actually being a great leader or not? Usually at a young age, we fathom or we don't really care, but I actually care for something. Because I know what it's like to have sleep for dinner. I know what it's like for, well, that person that loves you don't really know how much trauma they're bringing into you while they're saying these things or loving you some type of way. So we're going to see them past it and we're going to get over it once we get older. But now, they can be something I can work on. So as a man, I had to learn myself. I had to relearn myself once again. So I got to the point I tell someone, be wise about your decisions. For everything you do will be your character. For a man, a character is what you create. Just the word. You want to create yourself to be a great man, you got to do great things. You want to be someone who glorifies all the negative stereotype, don't do that. But in your character and your habits will form to where you can't get out of it that easy. You're going to have to do something different. But if you stand in what you believe in right now, you can say what I say. I overcame those statistics. Matter of fact, I'm putting good numbers up now. See, they try to label me basic, and I don't like that word that much. That word irks my soul. I've never been basic. I'm actually what everybody want to be. I'm black. And that word means so much to me now that I understand who I am now. They're going to catch that later. I'm more than an expectation. I'm a blessing to everybody I meet because I'm genuine about everything I do. I've been someone who's been taken for granted. I actually took people for granted. But now, who am I? I will tell that person that brief moment and how I'm meeting you right now is exactly the impression I want you to realize. This time matters. So I'm going to bring joy to you in every moment of life. Even if you're not going to be around me for long, I'm going to bring joy to you. Even if you don't like it or not, I got a selfish way of doing that. And I admit it. Because of all the things I had suffered for, my sacrifice in the streets, I can honestly say them leaders, them small leaders that want to see me in a moment of time, he always doing something new. He always doing something new. He always doing something new. To make somebody wonder, what can I do to be that new of a creation? I say character, young brother. Character. You gotta do some reading. You gotta do some time with yourself. You gotta look in the mirror so much you're gonna have to recognize the details in yourself. And that's character. Let's have some moments. This one is called Scared to Move. Scared to Move. I was shy until I pursued you. For I thought I had it all. I thought I was the best thing smoking. And you kind of cooled me off with a type of smoke that I'm going to have to cool off on. I'm going to have to evaluate before I go in around your area. It seems so unsafe to not know what to do around you. But once I started loving you better, my confidence grew bigger. It grew way more bigger to the point that I don't know what my body can contain to be around you so much. And I know being so strong of a man, somebody wouldn't admit, but you're a little too smooth for me sometimes. A little way too smooth for me sometimes. I say things I don't want to say, and the things I try to say, you catch me up, and this is what you mean, always come over. And I say, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Once quiet just to utter some words, now I'm leading to a great person, great purpose just to speak to you every day. You say them little conversations are going to build on something. I'm gonna be better talking to you, being more vulnerable. And trust ain't always been a good thing I'm good at, but I know how to be vulnerable. See, I used to exist in life with carnal mindset and self-defeating motives. And negative thoughts used to be so good to me, I wouldn't even know what love is if it would shake me on the hand and look me in my eyes. I didn't see it that long. We ain't even invite love around us. See, love doesn't have no excuses around us. And love never gave us an excuse. But we would give excuses to ourselves to be the person we was. I can be honest with you. And me being so honest with you, I get scared sometimes because I don't want you to judge me from where I'm from, or what I've done, or where I've been. And sometimes we judge. But if it gets to a point you do want to judge me, just ask me. Don't speak for me, just ask me. I'll give you that type of thing that'll ease your mind, because I've been there. I've been there judging somebody and looking so stupid, not knowing that that person and that hurt can lead from something else, from another person hurting somebody. Now I endure what definitely brings when you come around me. I'm enduring now. I couldn't comprehend your eyes and your beauty and your grace, so sometimes I just stand there and I just watch you. You always tell me what, and I said, it's you. It's you. See, I always had a lot of money, and I'd be like, I'm not going to spend it just on anybody, but you, I'm investing in something. You are the greatest stock I've seen thus far. We are building up. We are past the green bars. We are moving in interest. I'm interested in you. I feel as though we ain't going to fall. I can build a great stock with you. We can build this empire together. I get lost in your words, but I got a purpose though. I got a purpose. I'm not moving with that market death. I'm not so scared to die as somebody who's doing stupid things. I feel as though they are the bravest. But I'm moving in that type of sense, so I'm doing things with that type of motive. I'm not scared to love you like I used to. I'm not scared to love you like I want to. So I'm moving. And like I always say, baby steps are still progress. I can't get to the page. Got it. I've been saved. I've been saved. I've been saved with a type of spirit to make somebody jump for joy. I've been saved with expressible type of things I can't explain anymore. I've always been a type of person to wake up happy, but my happy hour has pushed back just 1 hour just to get way more hate than I used to get. And anything that comes with success is going to get just the same amount of hate. But my integrity is making righteous choices now. I just making sure I'm a whole, not just no half man or good at running away from his problems, or somebody who doesn't know how to fix it like I would usually do. I became that fix-it man. I became that Superman. I became someone I used to look down on, like, why would somebody come with a shining armor or be someone's security? Security has so much of a word. But you don't understand that security gives something that you will never know. Came to my point, I looked at my DNA, it made a different type of code. I'm now being able to be comfortable just for giving you security, not knowing that in me, helping you made it better for me. Who would have knew? Now I'm looking at the knights who would get on their horse and trot over just to fight. And in their mind, they would say, if I can make it back to the woman I love one day, this will all be worth fighting for. She is worth fighting for. So. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Give that one more again for tired.
I said you did poems, all right?
Wait,
You did when you were
wait. Did you get an MFA in poetry?
Yeah, I got that.
I'm gonna come up there, just if you,
More freaky.
get off the mic, just to get Jeff off the mic.
Wait, what's your name?
Sarah.
Hey, that's a dope shirt.
Thank you, my friend got it for me, and she surprised me with it on,
And Jersey in the house.
babe, what day was Naomi's party?
Hmm?
What day was Naomi's party?
Tell your friend I said thank you.
I actually have Friday. Okay, she surprised me with it on Friday, and Whitney Houston is, for context, okay, I feel like I always got an extra story. I have a Whitney Houston collection, but also I was sitting over here and I was responding to these letters that I have to respond to, and in my backpack I found a card I'd never opened from my best friend. How cute is that?
That's great.
Yeah. I don't even know. I had nothing planned, so here we are. Here we are, Jeff. That's not what you. Here we go. Let's see.
Open mic tonight. Sure, you want to read a
I
poem?
heard if you believe in yourself, it makes the poem better.
I'm here for my own accountability.
My name is not accountability.
A problem. Okay. Ooh. I'm just gonna read some random stuff that I just recently wrote. This stuff is unedited. It's just from a grind that I did recently. Did I read from this last time I was here? Did I though? Maybe.
I haven't heard it yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for Ice Nation.
Okay. Untitled. 1. Why your God so lonely? Why your God stone? I loved a lonely, mouthless God once before I saw beneath the skirted veil. Why your God so angry, so slit-mouthed, so gracious to the men of my night terrors? Why your God so invisible, silent, capitalist, war-hungry God? Hungry God, God without a mouth full of the least of these. The least of these begging between teeth. Why your God forget what he said, who he loved, why he came back? Why your God so two-faced, so predictable in his love and still inconsistent? Grant me a God who surprises me. What could you tell me about that God but that he visits suddenly in the night, concerned with alignment too? A prayer sits in a spoon's hollow like a seed. It's placed in your gaping mouth. You swallow, oh, you swallow, your belly growing guilt rigid, and then, like you've been training your whole life to hate yourself, your throat calls an offering to a stricter man's God. Your own mouth throws you at the mercy of a plexiglass altar. You confess what only the God you haven't met knows is a lie. You confess your unworthy blood, body, brain. You're never done anything right. You're inconsequence. You're failing flight. At night, you dream until you're sweat wet and drooling between the legs. You say sorry for sleeping without mastery or guard. You say sorry for your eyes, your clumsy tongue, your mother, your lungs. You say sorry for even your blood carrying a line of women from cell to cell. So much happened before you arrived earthside. You are so sorry for all of it, for latent memory, for instinct, for the way you recoil and run towards yourself instead of this God whose voice sounds like a crowd of men. That should have been the first red flag. A God so familiar he sounds like your father, your ache, your oldest wound at one time before you believed the spirit found your smaller bones, Rush them with blue flame until you were weak and leaking, until your knees hit the floor for the first time. Its ghost holy mouth murmuring into your marrow, my good, good daughter. I'm sorry for what's to come.
Like I said, I don't like to talk about that. Thank you.
Get it up one more again for Ajane.
Yeah!
I do happen to have something. A couple of things. They're songs, but again, a lot of my music is just spoken words.
You gotta be introduced.
So,
Yeah.
It's your first introduction.
No, that's him, please.
well, I'm Donovan.
Do you go by Donovan or Don?
Donovan R.
Okay. All right. Well, we about to get hit with some more words. Give it up for Donovan R. Donovan.
Yeah!
How y'all doing?
Hey.
I am doing this as practice to get out some of my stage fright jitters. Originally, back in high school, I performed a poem called Stage Fright. The point of the poem originally was I had to do it in front of my whole school. And the nervousness made me think maybe I would forget my words. So what I did was I wrote them down on postcards, and every time I said a line, I threw it on the ground. And I got like plenty of standing ovations for it, okay? So in this scenario, instead of me trying to do it to the beat, I'm able to just write it, to read it the way I wrote it. And the beauty of it is I just found it kind of like half wrote in my phone, but I remember it by heart, so I wrote it down. And the poem that I'm about to perform is called Stay in the Word, okay? I know I get on your nerves, but get out your feelings, forget what you heard. And get out of his business and stay out of hers, and stay out of mine, and stay in the Word. I know I get on your nerves, but get out your feelings, forget what you heard, and get out of his business, and stay out of hers, and stay out of mine, and stay in the Word. I know this cat from way back used to rap. I'm sorry. Let me do this to the mic. I don't even want to look down. I know this cat from way back used to trap, even used to open the door with a strap, sat down with it in his lap. Said, why you trap? He said, I'm glad that you asked. He said, matter of fact, life is a trap. Tell jokes, sell dope, or rap. I told him, yo, there's way more options than that. There's other money out here, not just the cash. No more value in that. Life's up and down like the prices of gas, and chips is 50 cents just for a bag. Next thing you know, it'll go to 75 cents. Better teach your daughter karate or play the violin. Better read your children the Bible, follow commandments. The Egyptians enslaved us too, it's time to pay attention. I'm a product of my environment, death to Willie lynching. We the slaves with the sheep's wool that's in them hieroglyphs. For the people that stay in the crib to the day of their eviction, jumping on the mattress in the ghetto, and the Holy Spirit is your conscience. Pinocchio, Geppetto nonsense. This is real life, ain't no Jiminy Cricket. Unfortunate events, ain't no Lemony Snickets. I'm just jotting down my thoughts on a scrap piece of paper. Punch lines like a beat, like Muhammad Ali. Start our own Ashley Bakes, Tatiana Ali. It's like my mama told me, separate from the herd. That's the way you stay ahead of the curve. Stay in the Word. This next one I'm doing is a track I'm gonna be putting out, recorded way back when, and it is called Small Potatoes. I originally named it Small Potatoes because I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie Blow, but originally they weren't always playing Blow. It started with them living in California and trying to travel back to the East Coast with weed for everybody that was going to college. And it got to a point where it just wasn't enough. And he says, look, man, he's counting all the money. You know, we're making a lot of money, but this is small potatoes. And that's where I heard that phrase from. When I heard that, it really stuck out to me. So I wanted to make a song about it because certain things that we flip over, you know what I'm saying, or get upset about, or get upset with God about, small potatoes. Sometimes it's really just us and we want to blame others. Sometimes I look at God as a grandfather and I don't go around blaming my grandfather for my own mistakes. So this is how I look at it. And it's supposed to be motivational from your local track boy to your local gambler to your local anybody. All right. It says, start off, it says, trap house, getting raided. Even if you black out, give me a second, start over. Trap house, getting raided. Even if you crap out down in Vegas, it still doesn't amount to what he gave us. Small potatoes. I call it small potatoes. It's time to wake up. Cain and Abel, Esau and Jacob. DNA makeup. Small potatoes. I call it small potatoes. Even if you black out, you done got lost in the sauce, pull your map out. Satan made you tap out. You don't want to play now. Court take a recess. Life is like a playground that you don't want to stay around. Find a getaway. We was watching Get Out. It was on Blu-ray. I watched it just yesterday. Toto and Dope. Little bit of holy water, watch that witch melt away. Demons just change clothes. Dress up as your best friend. Mistakes, I've made those. He who's without sin and throw the first stone in. Life gave you lemons. You made lemonade though. When it rains, wear a raincoat. Don't be a scapegoat. Trap house, getting raided. Even if you crap out down in Vegas, it still doesn't amount to what he gave us. Small potatoes. I call it small potatoes. It's time to wake up. Cain and Abel, Esau and Jacob. DNA makeup. Everything else, small potatoes. I call it small potatoes. Open up your eyes. Don't you realize you got somebody by your side at all times? Can't you tell he lies? Don't you see the signs? Read between the lines. All audition for the part, but you forgot your lines. I'm in my Optimus Prime. Bounty hunters chase slaves cross state lines. End up in Ohio. You've been running miles. If you go the wrong way, you'll end up in denial. River. I've seen stranger things, like the show Power. End up at odds. Carmen and Kyle. I'll show you all about it. Trap house, getting raided. Even if you crap out down in Vegas, it still doesn't amount to what he gave us. Small potatoes. Call it small potatoes. It's time to wake up. Cain and Abel, Esau and Jacob. DNA makeup. Everything else, small potatoes. I call it small potatoes. And for the third verse, you know, we're gonna have to wait till that song come out.
So we got one more game for Donna.
Yeah.
It's been 19 years.
Welcome back then.
All
All right, I'll do a poem, then we will head out. That's cool, say cool.
Cool.
That is
This poem's called Magnum versus Concrete. The bullet hole in the garage looks more harmless than chipped paint on cinder block from the muddy foul line, where street lights used to bury us kids in the back before we knew our neighbors had a pistol. We would catch fireflies in the sauce can together on the nights we decided not to close our fists, ignorant antenna between knuckles, or maybe oblivious is better. The way I had no idea a gun silently discharged while I counted coal cars from a late school bus window, freight and diesel whips in the air. Years ago, at least a couple decades, I never would have seen had I been shooting free throws. I would rather not think about it, but I am, because just now my home screen recommends a video titled Magnum vs. Concrete, a thumbnail of hands cradling 3 oversaturated shells, contrast high enough to reveal a faint lifeline in the palm that is not mine, but may be ready to pull a slender trigger once it finishes buffering. My mind finds it easier to imagine me as a block of concrete. The first bullet does not break through, but the next round takes off my shoulder, no, the top half. The third disappears in a veil of dust so heavy it takes a second to see what survives. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you also to Tim at Third Way Cafe. Thank you so much for hosting us. And again, just a friendly reminder, this Saturday, this is a paid event, so it costs $25 at the door. But what we are giving you is we're giving you like a mini MFA course. We're going to be teaching you things about how to write a persona poem, about how to write an artist statement if you're trying to apply for grants and scholarships, about all the ethics of just writing in general. Also, if you're trying to take your own work and find ways to make a business out of it. Look guys, it's 2022. It has never been easier to get your work out there and to get paid for it. So why not? Let's do it. That's going to be on Saturday, 3:30 to 7:30. Hope you guys can join us on those talks here at Third Way Cafe. And yeah, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you for being here.